Hello, I'm going to show you Calpendo Enterprise and what it can do. It doesn't matter whether you're already familiar with Calpendo or not for this demonstration, you should still end up with a good understanding of what it's all about. As you can see on the screen, we have two Calpendos called Blue and Green. These are two separate systems, but they're configured as part of a federation of Calpendos that work together. For this demonstration, there are only two Calpendos in the whole federation, but you might have many more. You might have separate buildings or facilities, and each one could have its own Calpendo. How you split your system into separate Calpendos will depend on your own environment, including your politics and how each area is run. Typically, if you have different pricing methods or ways of controlling who does what, or you want to store different information, then you would have separate Calpendos within an enterprise system. So, for this demonstration, we'll pretend that the Blue system is an MRI facility which has an MR scanner, and the Green system is a microscopy facility, and we'll set it up with a light microscope. Both of these systems are fresh out-of-the-box Calpendos and unconfigured, except we've called them Blue and Green and set up two users. Bruce is an administrator on the Blue system and a regular user on Green. Gloria is an administrator on the Green system and a regular user on Blue. Let's log both users in. The first thing to notice is that the two systems look different. That's because I changed the theme on one of them just to show that you can have them each looking different if you want to. Now, let's go to the resource editor on both systems. A resource in Calpendo is anything that can be booked. It might be an instrument, a room, a bicycle, a parking space, or anything else that can be booked. On the Blue system, let's create an MR scanner. And on the Green system, let's create a light microscope. And let's set the colour to something that's green. And also, let's suppose the microscopy facility has decided that you can't do good science unless you have bookings of at least 4 hours. So let's set up predefined time slots for this microscope. Each system now has a single resource created. Now, suppose we'd like the Blue MR resource to be accessible from the Green system. To do this, we need to share it. We can either share it everywhere, and that's everywhere we've got access to, or we can choose where to share it. Now, this is a system with only two Calpendos in it, so sharing it to the Green system is actually the same as sharing it everywhere, in this system as we've got it set up now. So it comes back and it tells us that the resource has been imported on the other side. So now if we go over to the green system and refresh, then we can see we've got that blue system, blue MR scanner available on the green side. Now if we decide we want to change something on the blue MR, say on the blue system, maybe we want to change the colour, we don't like that one, and we'll choose a different colour for it and save. Then on the green side, if we refresh over there, we see it's been updated. So because this has been shared across systems, when you update one, it's automatically updated on the other side as well. There are all sorts of ways you can control bookings that can be made. I won't go into any of that, but let's suppose for now that the blue system wants a minimum gap of 15 minutes between bookings. So so we'll do this from the rule editor page. We'll go to the rule editor page on both systems. So a minimum gap between bookings. Some people like to do that to represent a changeover period from one booking to the next. And we had lots of people use it during COVID times so that people could be kept away from each other. So to do this, we'll create an interval rule, and we'll give it a name. We'll say that we want this to have a separation between bookings of at least 15 minutes, and we'll provide a message that will be displayed when somebody breaks the rule. Now let's go to the bookings calendar on both systems. So actually the green side, we don't have the rule over there. So this rule only that we've just created, it only exists on the blue system. So let's choose which resources are going to be displayed on the calendar, and on the blue side there is only the one resource to choose from, and on the green side we've got two. Like so. Let's just convert this to a day view instead of a week view so that we've got a better view of what's going on. Now, in order to create a booking, we'll get Gloria to create some bookings now. So if Gloria clicks in the afternoon, let's say we click at 3 o'clock, then up pops a form where we can fill in some details. And you can see that the time has automatically been expanded out from 12 till 4 p.m. Because we set up those predefined time slots for Gloria. Unfortunately, I chose a time that's partially in the past there. So let's click a little bit later in the day and try that again. So we create this booking, and there it is. Now, Gloria also has access to the blue system, and that's why she was able to put the blue MR scanner onto the calendar. So let's create a booking for blue MR. So we click in the column for it, and we'll just accept all the default values in here and create the booking. And there it is. On the blue side, if we refresh the calendar, the booking pops up. Now, if we try and create another booking and have it go immediately after the first one, let's see what happens. It stopped us from doing this and shown the error message that we put into the rule, that bookings must be at least 15 minutes apart. It's worth stopping here to think about what's just happened. The green system doesn't know anything at all about the 15-minute rule. or any other controls there might be on the blue system. When Gloria tried to make this booking, the green system can see it's a booking for a resource that belongs to blue. So it sent the booking request to the blue system. The blue system then applied its rules and returned the error back to the green system, which then showed it to Gloria. Calpendo is extremely versatile, and each system can be configured in a bespoke way to provide whatever data and behaviour you want. But this shows how different Calpendos work together in an enterprise system, so that each facility controls the bookings for its own resources. If we now change the time on the booking to give us a gap of at least 15 minutes, then the booking goes in and it works without a problem. Let's see now what we can do when we run a report, and we'll do this on the green system, and we'll look for bookings. So this starts up and it shows us a list of all the bookings for today, and of course you look at this and you see, well, there are no blue bookings there, and that's because by default reports will only show information from the current system. But we can choose to have information from other systems appear in the report, and we can do that with this Sources button. So we click on Sources. We can either choose that information is going to be fetched from everywhere, and again that means everywhere that we've got access to where we can log in, and instead of that we can choose to select data from just particular places. So we can say, let's have information from blue and green, click OK, and there we see all the bookings, including the ones from blue. So when this has just happened, when the system's decided that it's going to give you these blue things as well as the green things, a request has gone out to the blue system. The blue system has then applied all of the permissions and controls that exist on the blue side, so that it will apply whatever filtering needs to happen to its data before sending it back for inclusion in the report. So again, the blue system controls who can see what about all the bookings relating to the blue resources, and the green system controls everything about its resources. Hopefully that gives you a good idea about how Calpendo Enterprise works. Does anybody have any questions?